What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rant no hate. So I got some things I want to point out to you guys, and I'm going to start with Francis Ngannou. Now, Francis Ngannou did what he did, and he said that first he was nervous about it, and that after that fight, he said, I realized I could do this shit. So he sounds like he plans on going forward and continuing his boxing career. Okay, great. Now, I don't like the fact that fighters, because of namesake, can leapfrog over other guys. It's just not fair. Now, in terms of earning a spot, no, he didn't earn anything. He earned respect. But in terms of earning a shot, no. You gonna tell me a guy that gets called out and cherry picked because he's a big name in his respective sport and was expected to be a cakewalk, and it turned out that nope, didn't happen that way. This was a spectacle. This was a big payday for both guys. That's what this was. That's what this was. This is not a guy who went to the Olympics or was in the amateurs, had a good amateur career, good Olympic career, whatever. None of that. You have fighters right now that have done that. And you know what they're being told? You know what people are saying about them? Oh, he or she didn't do anything yet. They don't deserve a shot. So here's a guy who was handpicked. The fight went a completely different way. So no, he earned respect, but in terms of him earning the fact that he can leapfrog over guys that's been here, giving their blood, sweat, and tears to this sport, absolutely not. Now, do I expect Ngannou to not get these bags if they're offered to him? No, of course he's going to go for that bag. See, but like I said, what's good for somebody's pockets doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the sport. Boxing has lost its core, it's lost its essence. It's a shit show. It's no different from what these misfits are doing. It really isn't. The only difference is you actually have better fighters. But after a night like this, well, yeah, he embarrassed boxing, Tyson Fury. He embarrassed himself. And I think Francis Ngannou, if he wants to stay with it, fine. And it's more befitting that he takes it serious and really want to learn, at least as of now, versus just saying, okay, I did it and I fought this guy. This is a win for MMA. Because this is what the MMA fans are doing. And people in general that are looking at it is like they can't believe what they saw. Okay, now let me break this down. Kudos to Francis Ngannou. You did what you had to do. And hey, listen, go out there and get yours. It is what it is. I'm not bitter about any of it. I'm just speaking in fairness of what's what. And no, that shit is not right, that people can just leapfrog over someone just because. I mean, it's like you can be a super popular rapper and can't act for shit, but they make a movie and cast you in it over actors that go blow you out the water with their acting ability, but you have star power. And they give you the fucking role. Just because. And your fanboys are so into you that they'll make excuses. Well, I mean, it's his first movie. Okay. Now, the flip side to that is, it was all bad Fury. Ngannou's a novice. He's green. And you can see the flaws in Ngannou. Even when he was fucking tired, Fury was tired. But Fury didn't turn up. Because he was scared. He should have got Ngannou out of there. It's several times. Honestly, when he got dropped, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, let me see if this guy's going to get up and go after him and get mad and knock him out. No. See, when people say, but Ngannou is a big dude, he's bigger and stronger than Wilder. Okay. Let's say he's stronger. He's definitely bigger, but let's say he's stronger. If Fury was as skilled as he said, if he's the greatest of all time, you mean to tell me that the greatest of all time can't be the fucking novice? And did y'all hear that bullshit excuse that Fury gave? Oh, like it says, I haven't been in the ring in a while. I had ring rust. Wait. Ring rust is why you lost? I mean, they gave you the victory, but ring rust is why that performance happened? So wait, you talking about ring rust versus a guy who has no fucking prior experience. So you mean to tell me your ring rust is so bad that a green novice motherfucker was able to go in there and do that to you? Ring rust versus a novice. No prior experience. And that's your excuse, ring rust. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Now, Ngannou, like I said, go pursue whatever you want to do. It's, hey, whatever. What's going to happen is going to happen. Fairness, the right thing to do, people failing drug tests and still being able to fight, and all this shit. Man, listen, boxing is a fucking joke right now. And the way I see it, it's only going to get worse. Because everybody's about the money, and it gets to the point, and it's clear. Any fighter that's hungry right now, you're behind him, you want to see the best for you want to see that, you want to see him in the best fights possible, you want to be entertained, whatever. And as soon as that fighter gets in a certain position, that fighter's going to do the same thing. You got guys out here right now with 8 fucking fights to their name, and they're calling out champions, right? You don't think they're going to use a guy like Ngannou as excuse? As an example to say, hey, you saying I'm not ready because I only got 8 fights. This motherfucker ain't had none and fought Tyson Fury. But it wasn't for the belt. So what? So what? Okay. And this is the type of shit you gotta look at. You know, I remember when Gary Russell fought Lomachenko. I remember he was laughing, man. Come on, man. He's doing. He got 2 fights, man. You know, took him light. He got a lot of amateur fights, not pro fights. I've been doing this. You saw what happened. What's the difference? The only difference between an amateur and a pro is pros get paid. And the longer you fight, the more experience you get and the better and sharper you get. I mean, you know, but everybody advances at different levels, different ways. Lomachenko was way better than what Gary Russell thought. Took him lightly, got his ass whooped. Okay? Simple. What's the difference, though? Lomachenko, well over 300 amateur fights. So he wasn't new to fighting. And Ngannou doesn't have that. And the fact that people like Mauricio Suleiman, you know, all these Teddy Atlas, the Max Kellermans, all these people want to put Tyson Fury on some fucking pedestal. And every time I say this dude doesn't, I don't see him the way everybody else do. I saw holes and flaws in his game. When he fought, when he fought Deontay Wilder, Wilder dropped him in every fight, the 2 fights that he got dropped in. If you look at every time Fury got dropped, it was him being careless. And Wilder shows you. I catch you slipping, I will catch you. I catch you slipping, I'll launch on you, right? And that's what happened. The thing is, he got up. But bottom line, it wasn't because Wilder just set traps and, you know, he made him move a certain way, did certain things, controlled. No, he just caught him slipping. Every time he knocked Fury down. And I'm watching Fury walking with his hands down, throwing punches with his hand leaning forward, hands like that, and Wilder wasn't making him pay. But when Wilder did catch him, the fact that Fury got up, now he was more cautious. But even the fact that Wilder is smaller physically, so what? So what? You guys are calling Wilder the heavyweight, the hardest puncher in heavyweight history. Man, look at the level of opposition he's fought. When you fight top elite fighters, that's the difference. Is being a total package or as close to the total package as possible. Being the top guys. The fact that he wasn't worried about that doesn't matter. That he's physically bigger. The point is, Wilder showed he can drop him. So it was because of his lack of skill, his lack of ring knowledge, and his very low boxing IQ. Fury wasn't worried about that. So you mean to tell me all you have to do is physically be bigger? And that's going to get Fury to back off? But when I told you guys, he's not going to fight Dylan like that. You're not going to see him fight everybody like that. He's doing it to Wilder because he know he can. Take Nikolai Valuev. He's 7 feet tall, 283 pounds. So he's heavier and taller, okay, and a little longer than Tyson Fury. Size doesn't mean everything. I watched David Haye beat that guy. I watched Evander Holyfield get robbed against him. Nobody was worrying about his size and all of that shit. You give a guy the right opponents, he looks good against those guys, and everybody lose their shit and start using their imagination on how they think he do against other fighters. Okay, think about it. So every time you guys talk about how big he is and how strong he is and him the greatest of all time, again, all of this came from the fact he beat one guy 3 times. Fought another guy 3 times. And the fact that as long as this dude had this belt and the fact he was champion before, he only had 6 title defenses. And you calling a guy with 6 title defenses the greatest of all time? No. I heard people saying I never seen Eddie Hearn look so happy. Well, part of why he looks so happy is because not only has he been saying he thinks AJ beats Tyson Fury, regardless to the fact of what happened with the Usyk situation. It's a different fight, right? I've been saying the same thing. Now, as far as him beating him, that's what we want to know. And I feel like he's capable of beating Fury. Fury, you guys, see, Fury got you guys thinking one way, because you know what Fury knew that you guys were overlooking? The same shit I say about Wilder, Fury see that in him. But because he's an opponent and he see the way people react, well, let me build him up to be the hardest puncher of all time and the second best heavyweight. Same way Wilder tried to make y'all feel that way about Luis Ortiz, a guy who's accomplished nothing. Just a contender, but never did anything, never been to that next level. Got knocked out twice the same way. So when you guys are saying someone's ultra skilled and super talented, I'm saying, see, you guys use the wrong words. Ultra skilled and ultra talented. That's what happens when you fight a guy with no fights. Let's put it this way, right? Let's say Tyson Fury goes into the cage, right? Let's just say it was a situation where Ngannou couldn't get him off his feet. Somehow, okay, let's say he learned enough technique to not get taken down. Let's just say. Well, let's say he was using his range and keeping it on the feet the way Chuck Liddell used to fight. Chuck knew how to submit people. He just liked to bang. Okay? Well, let's say that happens. Now, let's just say in that happening, he get edged out. Or they give Ngannou the fight, but Fury really won. If anything, Dana White would be wanting a rematch. Yeah, he won a rematch. In fact, Ngannou probably would too. But do you think that Tyson Fury is going to be passed around the UFC and just jump over everybody else? All these dudes will be calling him out. Why? They want to put the nail in his coffin, get him the fuck up out of here. You're not one of us. Right? That's what they want to happen. Boxing is a shit show. See, the UFC, like I said, people are coming to boxing, throwing on gloves. You got fucking ex-cons sit up on these podcasts talking about how long he was in jail and all the people they killed and who was a real motherfucking gangster and who was the whatever shit that they did for people. Yeah, you know, I did a couple jobs for Johnny Numbers, and all this bullshit. Next thing you know, they're sitting up on YouTube arguing back and forth. Some fucking company gets together and put a little bullshit fight. No, nobody's doing this shit in the octagon. See, because MMA fighters take this shit serious. So even for them to train you, they'll probably tell you, hey, look, man, don't disgrace our sport. Take this shit serious. Go in there, learn this shit. No, everybody want to come into boxing because they make it like it's just the next thing to do, other than being a fucking rapper or actor or some shit. So you act like you can fight. And then people calling you a fighter. Someone actually said, no, Francis Ngannou, he's a boxer, man. No, listen, he's still a novice. Call it what you want, he's still a novice. Francis Ngannou's going to get knocked the fuck out by somebody. Like, soon. The dude is 37 years old. And for you to think that because he went in there and held his own against Fury, he's going to just run through everybody else and people, his performance was better than Wilder. So, people, listen to me. Listen to me. The more you do something, at some point, you're not gonna look the same every fight. Francis Ngannou, I told you guys, he went in there, he fought very cautiously. It was a boring fight. Wasn't nothing fucking really happening. It's just the fact that he dropped Fury and he held his own and was landing better shots than Fury. Fury talked all that shit about how he's gonna fucking stand toe-to-toe and bang with him. It's not what he did. So he lied. Okay? And I also want to bring these things out about Fury. So see, I won't take my foot off of his fucking neck because Fury's full of shit. Fury fans like to try and fucking take up for him, but let me tell you, you can do what you want, just like I can. He's a fucking liar. Wasn't it just a week ago that this fucking Tyson Fury said, well, Alexander Usyk has to fight me December the 23rd. He signed the contract. There's no way out of it. And if he tries, it's a breach of contract and he'll be sued. Didn't he just say that? What did he just say in the interview he had yesterday? He told Coogan not to ask him questions about fighting because right now he doesn't care about any fight. He has a 6-month-old kid that he hasn't seen. He's going home to his 6-month-old kid. Question. What changed from last week to yesterday? You just realized you haven't seen your 6-year-old kid? So now all of a sudden, you just told everybody there's no way out of this. That's why Usyk looked at him and said, December 23rd. Right, remember, be ready. Tyson Fury's not being humble right now. He's embarrassed. He tried to do a little bullshit interviews. He don't want people to ask him certain questions. Why? Because he don't want to have to answer truthfully. Because if the truth is going to expose you and make you look stupid, which you guys that don't see it because you don't want to see it. So now you're telling people that he'll be sued. If Usyk tries to not fight him, he has no choice. He can't get out of it. That's what your words. Now, all of a sudden, you not thinking about fighting. You're going to go and take a long rest. But remember how you was giving ultimatums to Anthony Joshua and Usyk? Remember how you was sitting up there trying to make it look like they didn't want to fight you? The entire time, you knew you never wanted to fight AJ or Usyk. It's funny because here we go full circle back to, here goes another fighter from that fucking triangle of those three. And now, all of a sudden, this fight's not happening. So, let's just say if he would have went there and smashed Ngannou. Look at the shape he was in. Look at this motherfucker. Do you all really believe that he was going to be ready by December? But no, when I said every time Fury says he's going to be ready by a certain date and it's fishy shit going on, where it's just common sense, you want to tell me this motherfucker is going to fight on October 27th or 28th or whatever it was, and you mean to tell me the 28th, and you mean to tell me that this man is going to be ready to fight again December 23rd. So promoting the fight, being ready for the all that, he's all the shit that it's just going to come together in under 3 months. And y'all always run to his rescue, and he let y'all down and he lied. And no matter what, y'all want to keep hope alive. So now that the fight's not happening, just like I said it wouldn't, how stupid do y'all feel? But y'all like being lied to. And all of this because he wanted to fight a guy that was a cherry pick. And that's why he's talking. He looks down on everybody. He talks down on everybody. These fighters not in my class. They're all bums. They can't touch me. Blah, blah, blah. So now he feels embarrassed. Why the fuck do I care to see him in Usyk at this point? What he really needs to do is just let that belt go. Then do whatever the fuck he wants. Because I just care about the boxing. It's not the fighters so much. It's the boxing. So here's my thing, right? What if Usyk decides to sue him because he's not ready by the 23rd? Then what? And you heard Usyk's manager, say, we don't want that version of Tyson Fury. We want the best Tyson Fury. And what people are not understanding is, see, they think he's good for the sport because of his big mouth and the shit he's saying. They feel like he draws attention and people, okay, whatever. It's the lying and the deceiving bullshit that I have. I don't care for all that talk anyway. We about that action. Let's just get it. Fuck all the talking. We don't need that. That doesn't interest me. But at the end of the day, Tyson Fury running his mouth and all this shit. So I'm looking at it like, I don't think Usyk will stoop to his level and do those type of things, right? But at the end of the day, it's like he tried to make people look like shit. He talks shit and like for people to believe lies and false narratives that he create about other fighters. So to try to, Anthony Joshua purposely didn't sign because he knew that I was not going to take his shit and then I was going to walk away. No, you knew you were going to walk away. You was hoping AJ would. And then you're going to say you're so disappointed that you didn't get that fight. Okay. You turned right around and did the same thing to Usyk. Now, all of a sudden, Fury's saying he's injured. He's not going to be ready. He needs rest, and he wants to go see his kid. But last week, you didn't mention your kid. Last week, you didn't say, after this fight, I'm going to take a rest. We'll get back on board with Usyk or AJ or whoever, and we'll figure it out. No. You sat there last week and said, Usyk can't get out of this. There's no way out of it. The contract was already signed. And if he tries to get out of it, he will be sued. So that made me think, well, damn. Listen to what he just said. And look how he just contradicted himself. So let's say if Usyk did sign anything, did Tyson Fury sign his side? Because you know what? How you deal with a motherfucker like Fury, you might have to take legal action. Wilder had to take him to fucking court to get that last fucking fight. He got his ass whooped, but he had to take him to court to get that. Dillian White had to take him to court to get the amount of money that he deserved. Because basically, what you got to understand is, it's not so much fight. No, these fighters are not overpricing themselves purposely. No, they're trying to get money. No, the problem is these fighters are using excuses of fighters overpricing themselves. That's this situation. So yeah, it happens both ways. But no, why is it with Fury is always somebody overpricing himself? Yet, he's trying to give them crumbs. But then, when they agree to his terms, he keeps moving the goalposts. And he does it time after time after time. But his little minions continue to act as if they don't see that shit. And that dude said all that shit, and I'm saying now, Usyk should do the same shit he does, but actually take him to fucking court and force him to fight on the 23rd. And you want to know how you know there was no fight signed? Because the same way he said that about Usyk, he'd be breaching his contract now, wouldn't he? What did the contract say? I can pull out the fight, but you can't. So you know he's full of shit. So when Usyk is saying we had that fight, yeah, well, maybe that was the verbal promise. And if Usyk signed anything, like I said, Tyson Fury obviously didn't sign his side of it. He's going to go take a long rest. That was his words. And you know what y'all said? Just you wait, Aries. He's going to sign that. And I said, didn't he do the same thing with AJ? And they kept waiting, and nothing was signed. Then with shoe on the other foot, he tried to rush AJ. He tried to rush Usyk. This is a pattern with Tyson Fury of claiming something's going to happen and then it doesn't. Last time he did it, all y'all shut the fuck up and hid, went incognito. Nah, I don't want to go on Aries' channel now because he's going to talk shit to me. You damn right. You damn right I am. And now he just did this shit again. Y'all heard the fucking interview. It's his words. No way out of it. He has to fight me. Like I told y'all, he's trying to give y'all this fucking I'm Thanos chase. I'm going after the Avengers with all the Infinity Stones. They can't match power with me. They can't do this. I got every advantage over them. Yeah, and without the Infinity Stones, right? He's not the same, is he? See, the problem with Fury is this is Mr. I'm a bare knuckle fighter. I'll fight anybody any day of the week and twice on Sunday, right? Well, what happens? What bare knuckle fighter you know scared to put gloves on and fight a motherfucker that you call a middleweight? See, all that shit he's saying, if Usyk was as easy as a win, if AJ was as easy as a win, don't you think he would have fought them already? The man wanted to fight Manuel fucking Char and end up fighting a washed up, super washed up, faded washed up Derek Chisora. And y'all really believe that he wanted to fight Francis Ngannou because he thought Francis Ngannou brought a real threat? And the same fucking lie, Wilder telling y'all about he think about getting in the cage. The fuck out of here, man. Your ass is 38 years old. You're not trying to get in no cage. Your legs are too fucking way too skinny. You don't know how to, you don't even have good balance. Imagine Wilder with them slow, heavy ass, scrawny legs. What style you gonna use? You would have the most ineffective leg kicks. It'd be like somebody having chopsticks for legs. Trying to kick somebody. You probably break your leg kicking somebody's leg. Let's stop it, man. You guys are not going to get in the MMA cage. You're not. Respect the Clarissa Shields because she's an actual two-sport athlete. Savannah Marshall is trying to be a two-sport athlete. People who are actually doing it. Respect to them because they're doing this shit. Not what James Toney did. That was dumb shit. I'm gonna sit here and bullshit and flip tires and half-ass learn some bullshit, fake-ass choke move, and I mean, made a fool in the ass out of himself. See, again, but he went in the cage. I at least give him, I want to say I give him credit for getting in there, but I can't give him credit because he didn't prepare. He went in there and made an ass out of himself and embarrassed himself. Simple. See, that's kind of like what people thought was going to happen with Ngannou. And all of a sudden, and that's why when you look at Teddy Atlas and Max and all these people that had something to say about this fight, Paulie, all of them, I want y'all to think about this. Whenever you compare two boxers, what is the one key component that people use to separate one fighter from the next? Experience. Doesn't matter if you might hit harder than that person, but that person is the total package. They have respectable power, great or good hand speed, right? Reflexes, footwork, they have everything to nullify, and the IQ to nullify what you want to do, right? If you ask them anything about a fighter fighting another fighter, two world-class guys, the experience is different. The fact that this is what they do, but this guy has far more experience, right? And you're telling me when you hear Teddy Atlas say shit like, I knew he had a chance because he does MMA. So it's not like the guy's not into combat. He's throwing knees, elbows, takedowns. They're ground and pounding. No, he has to solely rely on his fucking fists. And you're telling me you thought he had a chance because he came from an MMA background? If a boxer goes into a ring with an MMA guy, it's obvious how much you learn, absorb before you get in there. That's why it's levels. That's why you don't jump straight in there with the top guy. You work up. You understand? The spectacle of it all, you're going to get embarrassed. Because if they get past your hands, you don't know how to defend yourself on the ground properly against a guy, an experienced MMA guy, what's going to happen then? Show me one boxer you think will go in an MMA cage and be able to go make it to the final bell with one of the very best, or the very so-called the very best in whatever division in MMA. And look at Brock Lesnar. People made a stupid comparison. This guy said, learn to understand what you're saying before you even say it. Brock Lesnar, true. Only on his third fight, he became UFC champion. But you got to understand something. Most MMA guys, their careers don't even end with 30, 40 fights. And yeah, Brock Lesnar has a wrestling background. And in mixed martial arts, it doesn't mean you have to know wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, karate. No. So his ground and pound and the things that he mixed with his wrestling, that's what he did. So so basically, it's not like he went in there straight from the WWE with no wrestling experience. We're not talking about WWE wrestling. We're talking about, Olympic style wrestling. He had that to his advantage. He's strong and he's big. So what he learned in terms of his stand-up and his ground and pound and throwing elbows and, stuff, the things he added to that, he combined it to where it was working for him. But he also had a short reign and a short career overall. And we know he got sick and all that, but looking at Brock's style, you could see there's certain guys like a Cain Velasquez and like certain guys, John Jones, like this dudes that would fuck him up. Alistair Overeem did fuck him up. You understand? So his style was able to beat certain guys. Randy Couture, a lot smaller, way up in age and was on his way out. I always forget the other dude, but bottom line is the guys that he were able to beat. You got to understand something. Again, saying how great someone is and then letting your imagination tell you they beat this guy, that guy. No, go in there and show us that you can win. Go in there and show us you can beat this guy. So now, after you've seen what happened with him and Ngannou, it make you look at Tyson Fury completely different, don't it? And as a fanboy, you can make up all these stupid ass excuses you want. See, the thing is, you never thought you'd see this day. Many people thought Fury was going to retire undefeated. And I told you, it's either because you think very little of the competition that's out there. And then on top of this, everybody's trying to get this money grab where the big fights that we want to see is so difficult to make. So you picture, yeah, he's going to go in here, stomp this guy and go on the way. He's going to beat him. And then what? He's going to come and beat Alexander Usyk. His fanboys really believe that shit. They were trying to convince me to believe it. And I'm like, nah, I have some sense. If them motherfuckers would have said they was going to fight in May or June or something, that would have made more sense to me. Because you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got, you know, understand, you don't want any breaks in your camp, you want no distractions, whatever. Now, not that they couldn't have a fight in December, but not after him fighting Ngannou in October. Absolutely not. And the only way for him to see that just to want to say that's going to happen and then actually follow up on it is because he had to really know that Ngannou wasn't shit. Remember, his father saw Ngannou hitting those pads and said, "Man, that's pathetic. You don't have a chance in it." They completely took this dude lightly. So why not get in the best shape that you can possibly be and be laser focused and go in and do what you had to do? Let me tell y'all something, and I see this with every novice guy. I don't care how much heart you have. Heart and determination can take you a long way. But your lack of experience, one of the things you got to understand, especially with a puncher, when you turn up and start letting your hands go against a puncher, you know what a puncher does? They start to swing back. They don't use this. They start fighting with their heart. Okay? That instant just start throwing back. They don't know what punches to throw, what way to move, what way to set traps, what way. They don't understand how to parry and fight. They don't know how to do all of that. Did you see Fury use his experience and do that and bring that out of him? So his size had nothing to do with the point of Fury letting his hands go. It had nothing to do with it. So my point, if Fury was fighting Nikolai Valuev, so that's all you have to do is be Fury's size and all of a sudden he clams up. Well, does that not go back to me telling you? He only fought Deontay Wilder that way and felt comfortable. And Steve Cunningham because he was so small to him. That's it. The only guy, you don't see Fury trying to walk guys down. He has to, he throws his shots and you see how nothing he was throwing really had anything on it because he wasn't sitting down on his punches. Why? He was trying to just not get in harm's way. So he was throwing them little slap shots and trying to get out the way. He's trying to move the way Amir Khan does. He's trying to move. He's trying to move before he even get the shot really out there. Throw that little shit and try to get out the way and move and trying to keep his jab out. The way he looked, like I said, we can think of fighters that, like a guy like Nikolai Valuev, would have gave Fury trouble. You want to know why he would have gave him trouble? Because Fury, being so much bigger than everybody else, lengthy and all, now he has a guy that's right up there with him. Okay? One thing about Valuev, he threw his jab, and that motherfucker worked. He worked. Fury, on the other hand, he fights stupidly to try to, like even against Wilder, when the shit that he was doing was working, the carelessness. Valuev with that reach, and he like to come forward. Fury's not going to come forward. Fury's going to go backwards. But now the problem is you trying to out-jab a guy that's longer than you are, a little bit taller. So now, right, even if Fury is to win, you got to understand, you can't look and say, oh, David Haye. Like, we don't know that Fury would have beat David Haye at his best. We don't know that he would have beat him. Okay, we don't know that. David Haye was too fast for Valuev, and he was smart. And people underestimate David Haye. They really do. But he did what he did, and the shit went the distance. But you got to understand, stylistically, Fury is now, for the first time in his life, in there with a guy taller than him, longer reach, that can stay behind his jab and make Fury have to reach and fight desperate. But guess what? Fury's not going to be able to muscle Valuev back either. And Valuev, okay, has more skill than fucking Ngannou. I don't know how you motherfuckers see it. No, he definitely has more skill than Ngannou. Okay, Ngannou just from his size alone, and that was, you didn't see. Look, he kept wrestling him. He kept fucking tying him up. You didn't see any attempt to try to back him up. So to say it's because he was big and strong, okay, no. Let me try to muscle him back and then realize I can't back him up. Okay, cool. It's not a wrestling match. Did you see him even behind his jab? He keep him up outside that jab. There's no way Ngannou's going to come in. Ngannou wasn't even trying to come forward. He was waiting for Fury. Fury could have just used lateral movement, different angles, catch him where Ngannou has to reach, catch him on the counter. I mean, there's so much shit that could have happened. Nothing. Neither guy was doing really much of shit. So look at all that, is what I'm telling you. Just like Otto Allen. Y'all forget, Otto Allen gave Fury trouble. And this is what people, like guys, when you make a matchup in your head, like you do a fantasy matchup, Valuev was not considered a great fighter, no. No. But is Ngannou a great boxer? So now with Ngannou, if he really wants to really fully, and more likely, if that's the case, stay with Mike Tyson and Dewey Cooper and let them keep working with him or whatever. But Ngannou's lack of experience, he's going to get knocked the fuck out jumping in there with just the top guy. And listen, I applaud your heart because you didn't come there and try to lay down. But he's going to get, I put it to you like this. The same way these fighters with names don't want to fight a Frank Sanchez or Jared Anderson, and they're going to say they haven't proved anything yet. Well, yeah, neither has Ngannou as a boxer. What he did with Fury was against Fury. So now everybody get this thing like he'll get in and just beat all these other. No. Frank Sanchez will knock Francis Ngannou the fuck out. Jared Anderson will knock Francis Ngannou the fuck out. Now, Jared Anderson, I've seen him take shots from guys like he was getting hit often by Charles Martin. But, I mean, for a guy like Ngannou who he doesn't advance forward, he's not like walking you down. He's not doing what Ike Abeabuchi was doing or what Mike Tyson was doing or Joe Frazier. That's not what he was doing. He's waiting on Fury. Fury didn't take advantage of anything. And if Fury hands was as fast as he said, all this shit that y'all keep saying about him, you didn't see any of that. He should have known I could beat him to the punch. I'm longer, I'm rangier. I fight off angles. I'm not squared up with them. You understand what I mean? And I'm going to, pounce on this guy. I think when Fury fought Dillian White, I think he was surprised at how easy it was for him to beat Dillian. Because if you watch that fight, it looked like he was standing, playing it. But it was like, oh shit, this dude don't know how to get past my jab. He really don't know how to get past my jab. So, you never saw him walk Dillian down, though. He just caught him was catching him with shots. Just caught him with the uppercut. And Dillian was winging wild-ass punches, no ring IQ, nothing. And I think he felt like, okay, this is easier than I thought it was going to be. But he never walked him down. He never walked Chisora. See, this is the stuff I'm saying to you guys. So don't tell me anything about size. That now it might have been a factor in Fury's mind, but size is not everything. And that's my point. Why I bring Valuev up, because most of y'all would say, oh, Valuev, Fury would have did this, because people were saying Fury would have outboxed Lewis and Bo, and y'all full of shit. Fury wouldn't have did shit. Fury would have got fucked up. Y'all better go back and start watching these fights of these motherfuckers that y'all claiming Fury would beat. See, Fury got y'all captivated with his mouth. Y'all don't think Nikolai Valuev was all of that. And this motherfucker was 7 feet tall, 283 pounds. Y'all never brought his size into play. You see this big guy, what's his name? Bob Sapp, big 350-pound motherfucker. Every time I see him, he getting his ass whooped by somebody. Can't fight for shit. He has a menacing look. That's about it. Can't fight. I remember him fighting Ernesto Hus. And basically, Ernesto fought desperately. and he started fighting stupid instead of relying on skill and being careful and really. No, he tried to just go for the knockout. He gassed himself out, and both times, especially the first fight, Bob Sapp won by the skin of his teeth. The second fight, it was more decisive, but Ernesto was fighting desperate. You looked at this man's size and felt, I got to get him out of it. I seen a 180-pound, 85-pound Japanese dude. I mean, every time I see him, he's getting his ass whooped. Got beat by a 185-pound guy. The dude can't fight for shit. But he was a big draw in K1 type shit, like different, fighting shit that they have going over there. And I guess just because of his size and his look alone, because skill-wise, that dude ain't shit. Last year, he was calling out Mike Tyson. Bob Sapp can't fight for shit. If that motherfucker fought Pee Wee Herman or Howard Stern, my money would be on Pee Wee Herman or Howard Stern. He just can't fight. Now, Fury, I'm not going to say the guy can't fight, but I told you guys, he's not what y'all think. And there's no fucking way. If you saw Michael Jordan in his prime play against a fucking high school motherfucker, guy that played football in his life, and all of a sudden, this motherfucker starts finally playing basketball for the first time in a 2-3 month training camp, and you think this motherfucker gonna go in and play against Michael Jordan and stand a chance? Man, please, it's not happening. And at the end of the day, now, understand, we're not talking about misfits boxing. We talking about a guy that's the equivalent of a misfits boxer in Francois Ngannou fighting against a world-class WBC world champion. And look at what happened. And I'm pretty sure, like a lot of people, when he knocked Fury down, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought, all right, Fury gonna get mad now, he gonna get up like he did against Wilder. Fury didn't do that. Fury got him the back foot. When he went down, my question was, let me see if this motherfucker finally gonna grow a set and get up and do what I know he won't do. And he didn't do it. All he did was got in the back foot and played it safe. We just roasted Jermell Charlo for not fighting, not trying to win. I mean, I'm just saying, Fury basically went in and tried to play it safe. What's his excuse? Same weight class. Huh? He's bigger than Ngannou a little bit, 5 pounds heavier. Just saying. So you can say they're the same size. Physically. Can you honestly tell yourselves that a fucking seasoned veteran like Tyson Fury actually stood there and said, ring rust? And then said, well, I mean, no excuses, he's a tough guy, he's awkward, and ring rust. You bring up a ring rust excuse for a guy who was making his fucking boxing debut. No fucking previous experience, and you bring up ring rust. When he said that shit in that interview, I just sat there like, this dude does he listen to him? I don't think he has any friends, because nobody's telling him, like, Tyson, you need to shut the fuck up, man, and let us tell you what to say. Or whatever you want to say, let us put the word together, and you go and repeat what we tell you to say, because you making yourself look bad. Ring rust. You had a training camp, right? You've been training for this according to you, right? And Ngannou's been training for you. Check this out. For Francis Ngannou, if he goes in there, let's say he fights Deontay Wilder, he gets knocked the fuck out. Wilder's going to try to capitalize off of that. Not so much against Fury, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe in Deontay Wilder's mind and in Malik Scott's mind, they feel like Fury just had a bad night. Already seen Deontay Wilder fanboy channels talking about the reason that Fury lost is because he didn't cheat this time. He cheated against Wilder. That's what they were saying. There's no way that he can go in and lose to Ngannou and beat Wilder, because Wilder would not gotten Ngannou out, right? Ellie Setback went so far as to I saw him interviewing Robert Garcia, and he said Fury kept rubbing his nose, and then he basically, long story short, was insinuating that he was snorting coke. He says it in the video that he was probably snorting coke because he kept, rubbing his nose. And I'm saying, see, people just can't believe what happened because they really thought Fury was that guy. It's what I'm telling you. You fight good enough to beat the guys you beat. You talk a lot of shit, and people think you better than what you are. Which is why I do understand people's frustration with Anthony Joshua, because it's like, yo, man, you were one of the top 3, and I had AJ at number 1 when he was doing his thing, okay? But they see, and these are the same people that feel like this dude would beat Wilder and beat Fury. And to watch AJ go through the, what he's went through and how he just can't get his mojo back to fight the way he was, to be that boxer puncher that he was. Yeah, people get frustrated. But it's like, you just saw what happened to Fury. You always felt you could beat Fury. Eddie Hearn always felt you could beat Fury. I always felt you could beat Fury and Wilder. I felt you could beat all them dudes. Until you had your bad night. And who was the most vocal motherfucker about it throughout the years? Tyson Fury. Always running his mouth, and he tries to put his foot on somebody's neck, kick a man when he's down. So now that he's down, people going to put their foot on his neck, and they're going to kick him while he's down. The dude's an asshole. It's simple. I don't give a fuck about y'all getting y'all feelings over this guy. I can give a fuck about who y'all feeling any kind of way about. So even when you hear me say, yeah, AJ lost to Usyk, he fought the wrong way both times. But at least the motherfucker went there and fought. So now for Anthony Joshua, and I'm not interested in Ngannou versus AJ. I'm not interested really to see how Ngannou develops. If it happens, it happens. And in all honesty, because what I see is he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Yeah, somebody's going to show Fury, this is what you were supposed to do, motherfucker. Call himself the hardest puncher. He tell y'all anything. I told you motherfuckers, Fury has to sit down on his punches. With his weight, if he learn how to sit down on his punches, he will be knocking guys out. Hell, Nikolai Valuev, same thing. He come in with that jab working, he smothered people. And I always said for his height, he need to work behind his jab, sit down on his punches, and not smother himself. I know what he was doing because of his size and how he can stay in front of you. He's going to get you back into the ropes. He try to get you in a position where he can just pounce and then keep you out and landing shots from the outside, but he's keeping you going backwards, not allowing you to come forward. So as he's doing that, he just want to put his weight on you, wear you down, same shit that Fury's trying to do. And you mean to tell me that your experience, I mean, you can look at Larry Holmes versus Mike Tyson. Larry was past his prime, had a short time to prepare for Mike Tyson. But, I mean, damn. Even in that, he was landing shots on Mike till Mike knocked his ass out. And he tried to throw the uppercut, and his arm got caught under the rope and shit, got dropped. But yeah, I mean, got knocked out. Bottom line is, what I'm saying, even in that, his experience is what allowed him to even stay in there for 4 fucking rounds. You saw no fucking sharpness, no ring IQ, nothing from Fury. Fury's not that guy. I always said Usyk is technically better than he is. The only advantage he has over Usyk is his height, his size, and not speed, not boxing ability. What would work is if he can stay, because see, Fury, he stays behind the jab, he stays on the back foot. Okay? And for him to box Usyk, he's calling him a middleweight. And I can't see him trying to walk Usyk down either. Because Fury don't like to walk in the shots either. That goes to show you how little he thinks of Deontay Wilder as a fighter. He knows he's just a right hand. Jab, right hand. Jab, right hand. So I tell people, go through Deontay Wilder's fucking... You don't see Deontay dropping people with body shots. You don't see him knocking people out with hooks and uppercuts. You know, I think he landed the left hook after he landed the right to have Fury going back anyway. There's the right hand that got him. I don't think the left hook finished him, but he wound up getting back up anyway. But just saying, in that sense, y'all, when you look at, fights, you go by the hype of what's being said about a person. instead of looking at what the person is actually doing and who they're doing it against. And I've been saying this shit, and I say it, I still say it. I don't give a fuck what nobody's trying to tell me. I say a guy like Valuev would possibly beat Tyson Fury or give him a lot of problems because it's a different fight for Fury. It's a different fight. Just like, look, Holyfield and David Haye were elusive enough to where, see, Valuev is trying to load up and overwhelm them with shots, and he's throwing his jab, but he's kind of just touching. He's not sitting down on his punches, stand behind his jab, catching it with swift, hard shots, following up with power shots and giving them something to worry about, and constantly popping that jab out. But when you seen him do that with anybody else, right? It was who? Guys that stood in front of him. Okay? Guys that stood in front of him. The Fury that fought Klitschko would have did nothing but stand outside and run and try to throw punches up top. But this is the point. Now you're trying to outland a guy that's longer than you, that's finding you and using his reach, and you're right there to be hit. So the younger version of him, I mean, we can't, the younger, okay, you got to go back in years for both of them. You can't go a young, so I'm not talking about a fantasy if Fury was in his prime and Valuev was this. No. Bottom line is, stylistically, had they fought, it could have happened. Had they fought, what I'm saying to you is Nikolai Valuev would have been a different type of challenge. A guy like Michael Grant would have gave. Michael Grant would have gave Fury a lot of fucking trouble as well. Why? Michael Grant could actually box. Michael Grant was a guy that he got knocked out by some big punches, yeah. Fury's not a big puncher. He has to sit down on his shots, and he can, hurt you, and then he can't get a guy out of there. But the thing about Michael Grant, when you watch him fight, a guy like Fury, Fury's very inconsistent. When you watch him in it, he plays around, little shit, and trying to be arrogant, but as far as letting his hands go, punch placement, and like, Fury is a guy that has a lot of flaws and makes a lot of mistakes too. I'm telling you. And why am I saying a guy like Michael Grant? Because he wasn't the top guy. He was trying to get there. And Fury might not have knocked Grant out. That shit probably would have went the distance. It probably would have went the fucking distance, but Grant also could knock out Fury. And the thing is, Grant could actually box. And this is what people not understanding. That's why it's like when you take certain guys, like who the fuck thought Otto Wallin was going to be able to test Fury any kind of way? Who? See, and this is what I noticed with Fury. Even when he fought Wilder's 6'7", so Fury's only 2 inches taller. But if you watch, when Fury's on the outside, right, he kind of a little spring in his step. Because why? When he comes in, he uses his jab. See, Fury throws the jab to score with it from the outside, but it's more than just to keep you out. He doesn't really put anything behind it. When he gets that spring in his step, he'll throw it, and he used the jab to try to push you and then come with that right hand as a sledgehammer. And he tried to go back into the ropes with you. And remember that we also saw that dirty-ass elbow that you hit Ngannou with too. But, yeah. And then he tries to, he put his weight on you, he tries to wear you down. So it's not a lot of volume from Fury. He tries to wear you down with his weight and all that. Okay. Against Ngannou, right? Maybe he was worried, this dude, I'm probably not going to be able to muscle him back. So I need this. That's my point. So that should have made it even easier. Just stay back and keep popping his jab out. Throw the jab, the jab, right hand. Keep giving him angles off his pivot, catch him with shots and move, keep the jab popping. But he was just as tired as Ngannou. It was like the 5th round. I'm sure if you look, Ngannou was tired, man. 6th round, tired. The dude was tired. But so was Fury. And Fury couldn't get him out of there. He never tried to get him out of there, I'm saying. He never applied himself to do that. And basic shit that was working for Ngannou, Fury wasn't doing he wasn't even doing the basic shit. He was doing sloppy shit. And I'm talking, fuck Fury from Saturday. I'm talking Fury, period. Fury that beat Wilder. That same Fury. If he's fighting a guy like Nikolai Valuev, I'm telling you, you guys that talk about styles make fights, but when it comes to Fury, nope, There's no style that'll give Fury a problem. No. And that guy would have given him problems. He would have given Fury problems. Because Fury, though, if you watch him, when Fury comes in, that is exactly my point. Wilder can't fight going back. He doesn't know how to fight going back. He does those windmill punches, and he does the same thing when you pressure him. Put his hands up and just walk straight back in the line. Wilder literally just puts his hands up and do all this shit, move his head away from his head. He does sloppy shit. Fury saw that, come in, boom, back him up, and yeah. But he never tried to do that to Ngannou. And he wouldn't have tried to do that shit to Valuev. This is what I'm telling you guys. He would have kept it on the outside. The difference is, and here's the problem, Valuev is accustomed to walking guys down, throwing his jab. Fury's not effective at fighting backwards. He tries to be flashy, dancing, moving on the back foot and slipping and all that, and moving. And then when you stop, he'll throw a sneaky quick shot in or whatever. But Fury's not a Fury's not a brawler. That's why I don't believe none of that bullshit talking about that fucking bare knuckle brawl shit. I've never in my life seen a bare knuckle fighter fight the way Fury fights. You ain't seen no fucking bare knuckle dude and they're twisting and all that shit. No, they go in there and they try to knock each other the fuck out. Some of them use better technique. They might use a little range and walk around a little bit and time, but no. Ultimately, they want to come in and walk each other down. Bare knuckle brawl and shit. Fury don't even have the face of a bare knuckle fighting motherfucker. Where's the scar tissue, huh? Why his knuckles ain't all flat and all the years he claimed he broke? Like Fury's full of shit. The dude's a fucking liar, man. He says a lot of shit. He get people to believe this dumb shit he says. And I'm bringing all this shit out because I want people to understand. When he opens his mouth and start running his mouth, trying to belittle everybody else and make himself look like he's the only good fighter in the division, to lose, because as far as to lose, he lost in my opinion. Okay, bottom line, what happened for that to happen and him talking all this shit? And I know he don't care about boxing. He care about what he can benefit from it and the sport itself. For the heavyweight division to be on his shoulders, nah. See, let's say, for example, Ngannou and Usyk was to happen. Usyk done fought his fucking mandatory. Alright? And this motherfucker goes out and fight Ngannou. So let's say Usyk and Ngannou fight. And Usyk goes in there, completely outclasses this dude, and just, say he don't knock him out, but he just fucks him up. That would make people go, damn, Usyk can fuck Fury up, man. Look at his performance versus, I told you guys a couple videos ago. One fight can make you, and one fight can break you. And another fight with a solid performance can put you right back in there. But for Tyson Fury, if Usyk and Fury don't happen, I won't be shocked. I don't really care for the fight anymore. But say if Usyk was to go in there and beat Ngannou, how does Fury bounce back from that? Come back and fight a rematch with Otto Wallin? Come back and take a fight with another lesser opponent? Blame it on ring rust because he doesn't know what he wants to do. So let me finally get that manual chart fight. Then what? Then Usyk's 39, 40 years old. What is he? What is the plan? I want to wait for Usyk to get washed up, then fight. What is it? Because all the effort he tried to make it look like he was making, well, we see that was all bullshit. It was nothing but a bravado. He never wanted to fight Usyk. The way he lied on AJ and tried to make it look like AJ was avoiding him, well, we know the truth with that as well. So point is, would Mauricio Sulaiman finally get sick of this motherfucker and either strip him of the belt or force him to fight AJ or fucking Usyk? What's going to happen? And here's what I bet you would happen. And remember where this is coming from. If he was forced to fight a Frank Sanchez, like somebody that's dangerous, Fury would probably give that belt up. Same way he said if they tried to force him to fight Dillian White. Remember that time he said he give the belt up, he don't care about the belt. See, Mauricio Sulaiman feel like Fury's a great poster boy for this brand. That's why Fury can do what he wants. He don't need a franchise championship, but he can just do what he wants without it. And he's been doing that. And has had no mandatory in 3 fucking years. And all the facts that I'm bringing up for these morons that want to sit and act like they don't see this shit and understand, yeah, this is facts. No mandatories. And if he was forced to fight AJ, if he was forced to fight Usyk, he'd give the belt up. If he was forced to fight Frank Sanchez, see, he has to be in the position of I pick and choose who I want. Like he told Coogan, I told you not to, blast you with a bunch of questions about fights. I don't care about any fights. Right now, all I want to do is go take a long break. That was his words. Now, all of a sudden, he want to bring up his kids. But again, let me remind you, it was just him last week. Sat there and told everybody, Usyk is forced to fight him. He can't get out of it. There's no way getting out of it. This is his words. And if he does, it's a breach of contract and he'll be sued. Same man turns around and, all of a sudden, now he don't want to hear nothing about fights. He's on a long rest. Okay? Mr. Contradiction, Mr. Walking Contradiction. And y'all don't question that. There's nothing to question. It's self-explanatory. The guy's a fucking liar, man. He says all these things. He does something different. And, I don't feel bad for this dude. Why would I? Why should anybody feel bad? He don't feel bad. He sat there. AJ's just not an elite guy. When it comes to elite guys, he just can't cut it. He's not in my level. He's not in my league. Oh, yeah. Usyk's nothing but a middleweight, little dirty teeth, little ugly bug-eyed man. He's not on my level. He's a little foreigner. Nobody knows him. And then you go in there with Francis Ngannou, get embarrassed. And we're supposed to feel sad or bad for you because now you got embarrassed not because of somebody's words, but you got embarrassed because of a fucking shitty performance. Now, I told y'all he's a lazy fat fuck. He's become complacent, and he's all about the money. No, this is not legacy fighting. Remember, this is the same dude. I played the video and let y'all hear it. It's in the archives of him being interviewed, talking about how the money don't make him. He don't care about the money. Remember that? I know millionaires. And the most miserable people I know. Yeah. Now, everything is money, money, money. Yeah. And, for Fury, and I'm not wishing nothing bad on Francis Ngannou. The man just did what he had to do, and I don't expect him to pass up any bags. But for the sake of boxing, I can't see him fighting the Frank Sanchez because they know Frank can fight, and more likely Frank will knock him the fuck out. So they're going to try to put him in there with a name guy. And it's going to either wind up being Wilder or AJ. Eddie Hearn's already trying to put his hat in the mix. Personally, I don't think Anthony Joshua is really interested, aside from it being a payday, because Anthony Joshua, like you said, he like money too. But we know AJ's about that legacy shit. So it comes down to it, and AJ knock his fucking ass out. Deontay Wilder knock his fucking ass out. You understand? I mean, that's what boxing would need. Because, be honest with you, now, let's say, for example, and let me say this, let's say he really take this shit serious and stay with it. And let's say that Dewey and Mike can even develop him to actually really, and let's say, now, if he fight these guys and he win, hey, man, kudos to him. Kudos to him. Then it's like, hey, he came in through the back door, but he came in, hey, and he made it happen, and this dude, he's that guy. But does it stop there? And you got to figure, before you know it, the dude's going to be 40. He's 37, 38, 30, what do you say, 37? Whatever. So I'm just saying, think about it. How many times a year you think he's going to fight? It's going to take time. It's going to take time. You guys are talking like Ngannou's the finished product. Like, no, it's going to take time. He's going to get knocked the fuck out. I'm telling you this shit. He's going to get knocked the fuck out. And when he does, how many times do you think how many times do you think that he's going to lose and still be a big draw? He get knocked out, he's probably going to get discouraged and say, you know what? I've done enough. Nothing else to prove. This is a late start. So, that being said, what do you think happens? Think about it. What do you think happens at that point? He just all of a sudden, boom, and no, youth is gone. He's a big dude. He's flat-footed. He's not going to learn how to fight on the back foot and dancing. It's not happening, yo. People just love to just boom, boom, and like I said, use the imagination. I told you guys before, and I'm going to say it again. Way before Jake Paul, way before Conor McGregor, and now Ngannou. Okay? Way before Kimbo Slice, you had a guy named Butterbean. And Butterbean was fighting tough man competitions. He was winning. Because he was a big, fat, bald dude, it got people's attention. Patriotic, wearing the red, white, and blue trunks. And he got popular because of that. There was no YouTube, no TikTok, no Facebook. You know, there was no Instagram, none of this stuff. He ended up getting himself in a fight with an over-the-hill Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes won. But people knew his place. You didn't see this motherfucker in there fighting Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. No. Ike Ibeabuchi, David Tua. No. Tommy Morrison, Razor Ray. He's not fighting these dudes. No. So Butterbean's respect came from the fact he showed heart and he getting in and fight these dudes. And I'm pretty sure he would have fought. But why? He got fucked up and then it looks bad on him. Which is why the Larry Holmes fight happened, because why? Holmes was over the hill. But guess what? Holmes' experience. So bottom line is Butterbean at least got way more experience than Ngannou with letting them hands go. Not depending on knees and elbows and takedowns. And you understand what I'm saying? So shit, a guy like Butterbean probably would have knocked Ngannou out. You see Butterbean's style? The best thing that could have happened for Ngannou is if Butterbean would have gassed. But look, if you look at the little punches that Ngannou did throw, he was gassed by round 5. So bottom line is, yeah, Butterbean probably would have knocked Ngannou out. Real shit. Butterbean, that motherfucker, he came to fight. He ain't come to lay down. He came to fight. You understand? He came to fucking fight. What I'm telling you guys, Ngannou was not nearly as good as what people are trying to make it sound like. He did a good job in being able to stay in there. But he didn't do much. So, for him to get gassed up and get hyped up, before you know it, everybody's going to be... So, every weight class is going to have some fucking MMA guy calling out a boxer, blah, 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 and then what we going to have? So what's going to happen? You know, another MMA guy's going to jump over Jerron Anderson, fight Terrence Crawford or some shit now? What? Like, this shit, circus shit got to stop at some point. So this is what I'm saying. So unless you're trying to come into boxing and become a full-fledged boxer, this shit is pointless. Because it's just a money grab. And it's got to the point, boxing is looked at no different from professional wrestling. Boxing is looked at as a fake-ass sport. It's corrupt as shit, and people are making a mockery of it. How can I get a quick bag? But you don't see motherfuckers getting in that cage doing the same type of stupid shit. So, bottom line, they knew their place. Kimbo Slice, he knew his place. These motherfuckers ain't coming in here jumping in. Oh, imagine Kimbo Slice versus Mike Tyson. Man, Mike would have knocked that motherfucker. He would have knocked his fucking head clean off his fucking neck. Why would you even want to see that? See how boxing has changed? And it's money driven now to the point of anything that brings a big gate, it's good for boxing. That's the mentality, y'all. And that's why I'm saying it would be an honorable thing if Ngannou really did want to stay with boxing and take it serious. Because otherwise, all that's happening is he's opening the floodgates for people from different genres to, oh, he's popular over there. Oh, and then all of a sudden, when you watch professional wrestling, they didn't give you that cringe feeling when you watch Lawrence Taylor beat Bam Bam Bigelow. Like, damn, a fucking football player just beat a fucking professional wrestler. Go in there and see Pete Rose get the best of somebody. So it felt good when Kane tombstoned his ass, right? You understand what I mean? These fucking Bad Bunny, a fucking singer. I ain't know the fuck he was. Never even heard of him till I see him in the WWE. And you're in there fighting and winning against professional wrestlers. That's a circus show, man. That's what I mean. It's a show. It's not real fighting. It's choreographed and it's scripted. They know who they want to win. But even in that, it's like, this shit's not even believable. Now they got women fighting men, pinning men, winning world championships against men. 130-pound woman beating 285-pound dudes and whatever. Boxing is like the same stupid type shit. I mean, it's just bullshit. So when you focus more on the entertainment than the actual fights, when you basically everything is just money driven, how can we get this bag? I'm telling you, boxing has lost its core and its essence. And this is what you're seeing. And what went wrong with Fury hurt boxing in a big way, because now boxers are not even seen as being feared people. Like I don't fear shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the respect is not there. You got people thinking they can just beat boxers. I mean, you got Gilly the Kid arguing with fucking a retired boxer and talking shit like he can go in there and fuck up actual fighters right now. Talking shit. So if what y'all saw last Saturday, if y'all thought that that's good for boxing, it's only going to get worse. And y'all not going to remember things like this as the legs under the table. They crack and they break them. One go and then all of a sudden you got 3 legs. Because once 2 legs break, boom, one side completely falls. Now you got 2 legs left. And before you know it, those legs have broken and that table has collapsed. Boxing as a genre is not what it used to be. And the fact that people who talked all this star-studded shit, who came, who showed, I don't give a fuck about that. That's what y'all not understanding. People want to be a part of something that they feel is big. That doesn't make them a fan of the fucking sport. They're just a part of an event. Such and such is going to be, okay, yeah, we'll go, man. And then afterwards we'll go to some after party. Or it doesn't mean that they're fans of the sport. And here's the crazy thing. I saw the Undertaker out there. I saw all these different, Conor was out there. I saw Jared Anderson. He was standing behind Conor, as a matter of fact. I saw different people. I don't know if it was Conor, but he was standing behind somebody. I forget. It might have been, I think it was Conor. But bottom line is, all these guys are out there. And 90-something% of the people said Ngannou won. And you think that these people are respecting boxing? Told you, man, boxing and all that, man. These motherfuckers, blah, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. MMA guy beat a motherfucking, imagine, a motherfucking novice beat the WBC world champion. Imagine Wayne Gretzky getting beat by a motherfucker that has no hockey experience other than training to play against Wayne Gretzky. Michael Jordan getting beat by some rookie. Muhammad Ali getting beat in his prime by some rookie. Just saying. Stop, y'all. This is what I'm saying. You got to listen to what these people say. Look at what they do. And if it don't add up and your fanboy isn't make you accept it, well, that's on you. But don't get mad at someone for telling the truth. Because we got the heart to say what y'all scared to. And I told you plenty of times, when these people are talking shit and they get on this camera and talk about what they're going to do and then nothing happens. I seen the video today. I don't know how old it is. It was a short clip of, Deontay Wilder talking shit about fighting Anthony Joshua. And I'm like, AJ, my thing is, I'm like, look, Deontay don't say much of shit. Then he have an interview pop up and he's talking his little shit. Malik Scott walked around here talking about the very same night, the next night after that, Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight, that they're already in talks about fighting Ngannou. So why the fuck is videos of Deontay Wilder partner talking about him wanting to fight Anthony Joshua? No, you don't want to fight Anthony Joshua. Y'all only talk shit when AJ has a fight or the fact that now this IBF situation came up with Urkovich and all. Now all of a sudden, now all of a sudden you want to be vocal and say you want to fight Anthony Joshua. Because all of a sudden now his attention is elsewhere. Man, fuck Wilder. We're waiting to fight Wilder. They don't want to respond. They don't want to, get in contact with us. Nothing. Fuck, I'm not waiting on this guy. I mean, I want to fight him, but hey, we talking about IBF, a championship title, and I want to be a 3-time world champ. Why the fuck would I let Wilder dictate what I want to do? That's all that shit is. So for Wilder, have you seen him try to chase anything? No. He just talks. He says one thing, Malik Scott saying something completely different. So the same way Fury stole, why did Fury get the fight? Because he beat Wilder. He's a bigger name than Wilder. Imagine how Wilder would feel. What you think Malik Scott and Wilder would say if all of a sudden Eddie Hearn is able to secure a fight between Anthony Joshua and Ngannou? And what if Ngannou is thinking like Wilder fans or AJ haters and saying, shit, you know what? AJ's a big name. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Shit. But he's an easier fight than Wilder. Yeah. And then he goes in there and AJ knock his fucking ass out. Then what? Then what? You know how mad Wilder and Malik Scott would be? But you know what still won't happen? Wilder versus AJ. Especially Wilder going in and destroy this dude. Because remember, Wilder was trying to get that fight with Ngannou way before Fury. Way before. How old is fucking Wilder now? Just turned 38, they saying? Okay, well, again, his clock is ticking as well. So, a 37-year-old MMA guy who went in there against a big fat pig, that's what always made me laugh, how Fury had the nerve to call Andy Ruiz fat. Motherfucker, you fat too. You just tall and fat. Like a fucking Pepsi bottle. Motherfucker, you tall and fat. Fuck you gonna call somebody fat? He's short and fat, you tall and fat. That being said, y'all, this is the circus show shit I'm talking about. And why I'm not interested. Because although we should have AJ versus Wilder, no, the focus is now either Ngannou versus Wilder or Ngannou versus AJ. Well, I don't think AJ is concerned about Ngannou. That's not going to get him closer to that IBF title. And when people don't earn a spot in something, and I can't get mad, look, how can you sit and try to look, even look at Helenius being a mandatory for Wilder. Not a mandatory, a title eliminator. For what? Like I said, he did nothing to get that, right? Nothing. But because it's Wilder, well, his fanboys wanted to make excuses for that fight. Okay. Anthony Joshua lost 2 times to, Usyk. And then the point of, this is where the whole Urkovich shit comes into play. See what I mean about the lies and the deception? See, because we were told that Usyk and Fury was fighting. No, that's what we were told. That it's on, the fight's happening. Then all of a sudden, all I'm hearing coming from Fury is him fighting Ngannou. And Ngannou training, and I see Mike, and then I'm like, wait, so this shit's making no sense. So this is where it comes, that they agreed to a 2-fight deal. Gotta remind y'all, they already agreed, and it's a rematch. And if they exercise the rematch clause, Urkovich is the #1 contender, the mandatory. I mean, the mandatory for Usyk's IBF, and he already made it clear that he wasn't going to wait. And when no matter who won, that it was a 2-fight deal. So whoever, if the rematch clause was exercised, whoever had the IBF would be stripped of it. And Urkovich, who was he supposed to fight? It was somebody else. I think it was Otto Wallin. But they was like, nah, fuck that. Make it Urkovich versus AJ. That's a bigger fight. More interesting. It's not fair Did I not say the same thing? Isn't AJ the guy I tell you I want to see win? But wasn't I the one said AJ didn't do anything? This is a star power move, right? Is that any different from the Ngannou situation in terms of star power move? Same shit. But what makes it different is at least AJ's a fucking fighter, an actual fighter. Okay? A boxer. Not coming from another genre using star power. No, I'm a boxer and a former unified champion, former two-time unified champion. So that being said, y'all, you gonna take a guy that's a two-time unified champion, a former unified champion, and try to shit on him, but praise a fucking guy coming from a completely different genre, who went in there and was in a boring fight, won the fight and was robbed, but now all of a sudden, this dude is invincible, he's unbeatable. Y'all talking about things that y'all didn't even see happen in the ring. Aside from him knocking him down and winning the fight, yeah. But it was a boring ass, it wasn't nothing happened, nothing special happened. And that's what I'm saying. And I said that wasn't fair. That if Otto Wallin was the guy, that's who it should be against. But it's a star power thing. So let's get AJ in there. Now, is it a more appealing fight? Yeah. Yeah. But guess what? I mean, Urkovich versus AJ versus, instead of Urkovich versus Wallin, yeah. But guess what? It is who it is, right? So how is this any better? So instead of these guys fighting, how long has it been that AJ and Wilder was supposed to fight? So you understand, the fights that should happen, now let's just keep brushing it off. Well, AJ is focused on being a 3-time champion. He's not trying to just make a bag, get a bag, but by just fighting just anybody. He wants to get this, and he's willing to step in and step up. Because you might fuck around, and what if Ngannou, based on star power, ends up getting a title shot with somebody? Just leapfrogging over all these actual fighters. It's not right. But I don't blame anybody for going out there and getting their bag. But when you do it this way, when you don't have to, I can still get that same bag or more. Okay, and then Ngannou stopped. It's not like it went up to the point where all of a sudden now the next fight he's in is going to be 100 million, 300 million. No, that's not what happened. He just earned people respect, and there's people that want to see what he's looking like in his next fight. Me, it would be more of a depending on who he's against. Like I said, I'm not into the leapfrogging over people situation. So yeah, man, we all respect what Ngannou did, Saturday night. But fair is fair, man. And that shit's not fair, how they're conducting this business. Just pulling people out of different genres, and all of a sudden, here they are in the ring with look, I mean, world champions and all this shit. And, a guy like Fury who can run to, the WWE and all these other different outlets. Look, man, he'll probably try to shut up and be quiet because he got a big ass mouth. Make up more excuses later on. He's not being humble right now. Like I say, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. But y'all know Fury. He'll say something today, say something completely different tomorrow. You guys will forgive him, and he'll be doing the same shit all over again. And until the day that he decides to not lace gloves up anymore. So, for the sake of boxing, Ngannou needs to get stretched. And if his heart's really in it, he stays with it, he'll know his place. And he'll start at the bottom and work his way back up. Or he'll get knocked out and decide, all right, I had enough. Made good money in just 2 or 3 fights or whatever. Don't need to keep doing it. Just saying. Yeah. Now, like I said, if he got in there with AJ or Wilder, somebody, he pulled off the win, hey, then hey, and what's going to happen is going to happen. But this is no longer about building stars in boxing. This is about just let's try to generate money and let's put on a circus show to get certain fights on that people are going to go, oh shit, that guy versus that guy. But in a professional fucking ring, a professional boxing setup, this is what we're getting. So everybody other than the fighters that we want to see actually in there with each other. And I had to bring these things up because, people forget. And they say a lot of shit. And by the way, we was talking about Nikolai Valuev, a couple of people the other day, they would say the same thing, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, no, that. And a lot of people say that. And they're like, people don't understand something. Y'all guys think Tyson Fury would have beat Holyfield? Y'all think, we don't know if he'd have beat David Haye. We don't know that for sure. I never said I think he would beat David. I don't know what would have happened. But I'm saying it's possible David Haye might have knocked Fury fucking ass out too. Who knows? Because like I said, you use the imagination. And again, when Holyfield fought Valuev, he got robbed. But his experience, how to move and avoid shots. And, he was slick enough. And the biggest thing he had to do was trying to get past Valuev's jab. Same with David Haye. A lot of really tall guys, they have problems fighting with skillful shorter guys. A lot of them. You understand? And with David Haye, same thing. He was too fast. He was too slick and slippery. Valuev is punching down now. Against Fury, he's punching straight across. A little bit taller than Fury, but he's punching straight across at Fury. And again, the way Fury fights, stylistically, it's not an easy fight for Fury. Y'all can think what y'all want, but that's not an easy fight. And any fucking body that really understands boxing, take the fanboy shit out, they understand the logic in what I'm saying. It's a different fight. And Fury's not, you talk about, he's lightning, man. Dude ain't no lightning fucking fast. He got a little speed. He's not lightning fucking fast. Y'all be exaggerating his abilities. But I guarantee you, no matter what you say, Fury knows. If Fury was being honest, and I was sitting right next to this bald-headed motherfucker right now, fuck all the entertaining trying to know, and he was honest, he would say, yeah, that would have been an interesting fight. Because now I'm in there punching with a guy that's taller than me, and he's right there, and then I'm on the back foot, and Valuev is coming in, jabbing, and me, like twisting, turning shit and all, but he's bigger than I am. So he's going to try to do the same tactic and get me and then try to wear me out, lean on me, but he's going to, it's a different fight. And we're talking 10 to 12 rounds. Understand, guys get tired. Shit happens. And Fury has showed a lot of flaws. And when a guy like Deontay who can punch with his right hand but no skill, he's not exploiting these flaws. And that's why I say, David Haye wouldn't have been, like people say, I remember what happened with David Haye and Klitschko, and okay, David Haye broke his toe in that foot, his toe in that fight, whatever and all, talked all that shit, and nobody wanted to hear that, including myself. He was, following Klitschko around, popping up everywhere Klitschko went. But you guys gotta understand something too. The same way Klitschko lost to Fury, Fury never gave him a rematch. We've seen shit happen in boxing where sometimes a guy lose and then come back in the rematch and just completely annihilate the guy. And this is what I'm saying. It's different when a guy fight. And every 3-4 months, this motherfucker's fighting. 2, 3, 4 times a year, the motherfuckers are fighting. That's how it used to be. And people fought their mandatories. And that's one thing I respect about Usyk, man, is because Usyk is not cherry picking. Usyk just want to fight. So if he's a little middleweight and you'll knock him out in 2-3 rounds, why are you so scared to fight Usyk? I'm convinced that he's scared of Usyk. I'm convinced that he's scared of AJ. But he's trying to talk like he's not and trying to bring up AJ's losses and how he looks lost. Look, Fury is calling AJ mentally weak. Fury's mentally weak. He's mentally fucking weak. And he hates the fact when somebody asks him questions that exposes his lies. And then he goes off and and he's always trying to convince people how tough he is and always talking this bare knuckle shit and all that. And Fury's full of shit. He's full of shit. So now that the fucking fight for the second, no, he didn't fight Klitschko. And remember, if you remember, they had to sit down, the face-to-face. Yeah, right there with Max Kellerman, and he's telling him, I know what I did wrong. Believe me, I'm gonna be ready this time. That fight was supposed to be on. And this bitch ass motherfucker retired. Yeah. Just saying. But when that shit happened, remember he was supposed to, what was it, two or three Tuesdays in a row, he was supposed to sign a contract for him and AJ. And y'all came his defense. You just watched. He's going to sign that contract, and he didn't. And y'all weren't even man enough to say, I don't need you to say, Aries, you was right. But y'all wasn't even man enough to say that. And y'all done all this talking, trying to defend this dude. Now, once again, he sat there. Let me say it one more time before I close this video. He sat there and said to you guys, to all of us listening, okay, that don't have waxy ears, clean ears, what did he say? Usyk cannot get out of this fight. December 23rd, there's no way out of it. He signed a contract. So he can't go back and lie now and say he's waiting on Usyk because Usyk, for whatever reason, won't sign. No, he said it, didn't he? He signed the contract. And if he tries to get out of this fight, it's a breach of contract. And he will be sued. And Usyk told that motherfucker, be ready. December 23rd. Make sure you're ready. And Fury stood there with that stupid look on his face. He put his foot in his own fucking mouth. Huh? So why aren't none of y'all saying, wait a minute, Fury? You said Usyk is forced to fight you. He signed the contract. There's no way out of it. If he does, he'll be sued. So how are you now all of a sudden bringing up your baby? And how you just want to go take a long vacation, long break. We'll deal with everything else once we come back. We'll be on to the next one after. Oh, now, see? People supposed to bow to you and give you your wishes because you got your ass kicked, but you were trying to shit on AJ, trying to shit on Usyk, tried to shit on Dillian White. Had to be taken to court to get the right things to happen. Huh? You tried to hang people by the fucking neck. You got 24 hours, all this bullshit, this pussy shit that you've been doing. And we're supposed to say and have mercy on you? Absolutely not. If you cough up that WBC belt and you want to go fight Ngannou, you want to fight the Power Rangers or whatever, that's your business. I already wouldn't even be talking about you. But you are holding up the division. And Mauricio Suleiman, he basically is a guy that lets you do whatever you want. They don't give a fuck about fighters' legacies. They care about money. And that's all they care about. And at this point, that's all you care about. If you cared about legacy, you would have did things a lot different than a long time ago. You only have 6 world title defenses. You're not an all-time great. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You're not on that level. You never were on that level. You're in a weak-ass division where you don't want to fight the best guys that's there anyway. And you've been given the keys to the city to do what you want, go where you want, whenever you want, however you want. Your own plan backfired on you. Your own plan. And now you're embarrassed. You want to hide, let this thing die down. Come back talking your shit like you always do when you think you're ready. Hope you get stretched the fuck out by the next person you fight. For the sake of boxing, Ngannou needs to get knocked the fuck out so he can stay with boxing, but go to the back of the line and work his way up. And grow respect for the sport to where he understands, nah, this shit ain't no cakewalk. Because him doing what he did in there with you, now Ngannou has people thinking that he can just go in there and do this to Wilder or AJ. And hey, bro, if you able to do it, more power to you. And that's why I'm saying he's not gonna go in there with no steps down, no lesser fighter. No, he's not gonna go in there with a lesser fighter. He's gonna put him in there with a guy like AJ or Wilder, and he needs to get knocked the fuck out. They don't need to play with his ass. They need to just knock him the fuck out so he can start over. Simple. But yeah, y'all. That's the fraud in Tyson Fury. Ngannou did what he did. And let me say it again, because you got stupid people that hear you and don't hear you. Ngannou did what he was supposed to do. I applaud Ngannou for his efforts and what he did. But Ngannou's no great fighter. It was bad Fury. It was what Fury didn't do. And Ngannou learned enough to go in there and hang in there with what he did. It's as simple as that. But I'm not on the hype train. I understand what's going on. I clearly see what's happening. And if they can help him to develop to become better, fine. I'm not with the leapfrogging over other fighters who deserve to be here. But at the same time, I'm not mad at him for doing what he's doing. But he needs to get knocked the fuck out, and he will. He will. Keep putting him in there with the title. No, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. And when it does happen, and people wake up from reality and start to put pressure on Fury, like, motherfucker, why you didn't do that? That might spark a fire under Fury's ass to maybe finally want to fight a Usyk or AJ, which I doubt, but maybe finally. But even in that sense, man, fuck Fury. Like, from the bottom of my heart, fuck Fury. Because what Fury's doing, and it's not a personal thing, I don't know this motherfucker, but looking at what I see of him and what he projects to me is disgusting. And the fact that he let himself down, he let boxing down. Because he showed you, man, look, I just showed up for the money. I don't fuck what y'all talk about. I don't care. And that's all it was. And he doesn't even care about what he's doing. You're supposed to be ambassador of this sport. No, man, you all about you. It's about yourself. You. And out of all the shit that Usyk accomplished, him calling you greedy belly was one of the best things as well. That's right up there with winning the title, because that's what you are. Greedy belly, big greedy, selfish motherfucker. You want to give people crumbs. Your bullshit about people overpricing themselves. Well, my thing is, I don't know and don't really care about what Ngannou got paid. But if you go on by how much money you make, well, what does he make in the UFC? Because if that's the case, then you only paid him some hundreds of thousands or something, $100,000 or whatever. Because I'm pretty sure that motherfucker ain't get no $25, $30 million in no UFC. So I know. So whatever it was paid, if that's the case, y'all tried to shit on Dylan White and give him a fucking lowball offer. No, y'all try to give people lowball offers so they're hoping that they'll walk away. And then your excuse, the lie that you told the fans, okay? And I gotta say this, the lie that you told the fans was nobody wanted to fight you. You tried to get Usyk, he was scared. You tried to get AJ, he was scared. You know what I'm saying? Then you turn around and say the only person that was willing to fight you was Ngannou. That's a fucking lie, man. That is a fucking lie. And all these times, look, if you think about something, right? Just the lie, even about the fight being signed, and they got the fight, and it's gonna happen, and it was scheduled for the 23rd. Well, who's breaching the contract then? Because it's not Usyk sitting there saying, nah, I'm not ready. It's Fury. It's Fury. And I'm just bringing it up because I want y'all. I said it earlier in the video a couple of times, but I'm saying it because I want y'all to remember that. So why is it that fight was supposed to happen on the 23rd, all of a sudden this motherfucker decides he said that shit. 23rd, ain't no way out of it. He again is the one backing out. He once again is the reason the fight's not happening. So once he goes and shut up for a little bit, he'll think of a bunch of lies to come back, jump in front of a camera and have his minions jumping around, repeating what he said to try to make sense out of his bullshit. Look, y'all. Again, boxing is a fucking joke. I don't even know how much longer I want to keep doing this shit. Because I like to talk about shit and have fun with it. And, you know, this stuff is just, it's like, this is what boxing has come. You know, it's what it's come to. So how do we go from what boxing was to what it is now and not understand people are all about a spectacle more so than the fight itself. Nah, that's trash. So it's not about being a boxer, it's about being a celebrity, being a superstar. Because if I don't know you, then you must not be that good. That's the mentality. Couldn't find nobody except for Ngannou, right? Okay. Here's the crazy part. Ngannou on social media put up a post that said, "What do you think now, Dana White?" Yeah. Dana didn't think he could do it. Right? Didn't think he, whatever their little issues was, but you gotta understand, I don't care how much you like a person about something, you don't know these people. A liar is a liar, and a fraud is a fraud. And when you see wrongdoing, but act like you don't, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And the sport of boxing has already suffered because of this type of shit. Everything in life. Music. These artists out here, these record labels are going broke. They're no longer trying to sell #1 albums and big albums. Everything's about singles. Streaming numbers and everything that's going on is just it's not even about, we don't even care that the music don't have substance. We don't even care that nobody's talking about nothing positive. We don't care that everything come out of a person's mouth is negative. It's about resentment. It's about being spiteful. It's about hate. It's about murder. But that's all we do. We don't care that every damn movie that come on, every word, every other sentence, fuck, suck my dick, you's a bitch, you faggot, you punk ass motherfucker, you this, I'll kill you, asshole. And we don't even care that this is all that happens. Nothing is really family oriented anymore. And it's just like there's no rules, there's no wrong. Everything is just do whatever you want. That's what's happening in life. It's a different time. And unfortunately, boxing is one of those things that's affected by it. Because people are people. But people like myself, we're going to just fade out. Because as you get older, you got kids coming up, then they will come around your time going, it's a different thing. And there's somebody else doing similar to what I'm doing right now. Right? That's just life, right? Life goes on with or without you. But as long as we're here on this earth and we enjoy boxing, or we want to enjoy boxing or whatever, and this is the kind of shit that you got to deal with, man. This type of shit that's going on. So, just saying, y'all. This is what it is. It's not going to switch back. It's not going to go back to what it used to be. It's going to turn into something else, for better or worse. And I really don't see the better in it. Unless somebody can come along that really gives a fuck about boxing and want boxing to stand out as its own sport and not some clown circus show. And I'm just being real. So there's no hate on I don't hate on any of these motherfuckers. For what? But yeah, Ngannou needs to get his ass whooped, and that's what's going to happen. And like I said, once he realizes, all right, I need to work my way up like everybody else, then it's more respectable overall. You were handpicked and selected by a guy that cherry picked you, and then basically it didn't go his way. So like I said before, he ain't earned shit. He earned respect. He didn't earn the right to fight these guys. No, just because of what happened with him and Fury. Fury is not as good as he had y'all believing he was. It's as simple as that. And this is why so many fighters, you can say, the guy looked great in this fight, but he didn't look so good in the next fight. Then he looked awesome in the fight after that. Then he looked okay, because they're fighting consistently, and each opponent brings a different challenge. It's life. It's life. No different from you driving to work every day. And some days the roads are easy to deal with, the traffic is different. Then you have days where it's difficult. Everybody lost their fucking mind. People don't want to signal, but they turn. People got their signal on, but they go straight. All kinds of goofy shit. You're driving, this motherfucker sitting there like he's gonna let you pass, and all of a sudden he just jumps and cuts you. I mean, right? That's life. So, it's unfortunate to see shit happen for the worst. But look, y'all, talk to me in the comment section. What y'all think about Fury and this shit? And I want y'all, listen, pay attention. I want you guys, not the fanboys, not you motherfuckers all in your feelings, want to try to sit here and protest for your little boyfriend Fury. I don't want to hear that shit. What I'm looking for, you speak about what stands out to you about these things in this conversation, but I want y'all to talk to me about his words. Talk to me about his words, telling in this interview last week, telling the interviewer how Usyk cannot get out of this. That's what I really want to elaborate on. He can't get out of this. He signed a contract, and that'll be a breach of contract. If he try to get out this fight with me, he's going to get sued. And then him turning around saying he just want to take a long break and go home with his child. I want y'all to talk to me about that. Talk to me about the fact that Francis Ngannou, he did what he did. Salute to him. But he's being put on a pedestal now. And he's being put on like, okay, he's a money man. He's a draw in boxing, even though he's not a boxer. And now you got actual boxers saying that this dude, people in boxing, he's a fighter. Yeah, man, he's a boxer. No, he's not. He did not earn his dues. Talk to me about Teddy Atlas saying he thought that Ngannou had a chance because he comes from an MMA background, which is a combat sport. But Teddy Atlas is the same dude who says experience overcomes youth, power, speed, just physical ability. Talk to me about that. But you thought a guy that's green, a novice, had a chance. Talk to me about that. Matter of fact, what else? Talk to me about Tyson Fury making the excuse that he had ring rust, going there against a guy who has no fucking fights. And the fact that his experience, his muscle memory, his ring IQ, none of that shit showed. He looked like a novice in that ring. Talk to me about that shit. And also, I want y'all to understand, when I say anything, I mean it. I don't say things to just say it. But I want y'all to understand. I already said it, but I'm going to break it down because I'm about to close this video for sure. Francis Ngannou did not earn a championship shot. He did not earn a fight with the top guys. He was cherry-picked. He held his own. Fury didn't show up, didn't do what he was supposed to. And now, because of that, he's being put on a pedestal and put in a position that he did not earn. He did better than people expected. He did not pay his fucking dues. You don't go to work one day and get a full paycheck. Y'all understand what I'm saying? No. Did you work the whole week? If not, you get paid for that day. So now all of a sudden you're going to pop up and work, and now all of a sudden you just getting full checks without working for them? No. He did not. And there's no way that he should be fighting Tyson Fury before Frank Sanchez or Jared Anderson or F.A. Ajaba, guys who's in there grinding it out, that do this for a living. No way. That's what I mean when I tell you. So, no, he didn't earn it. He earned respect. I'm saying he earned people's respect. He didn't earn shit. Okay, he didn't earn shit. And that's all that is. Talk to me about those things and whatever else y'all want to talk about. But I don't want to hear nobody feelings trying to defend this fucking Fury dude. If that's what you want to talk about, keep your comments to yourself. I don't want to hear nothing about you trying to fucking defend this dude because you in love with Fury. I don't give a fuck about that. Talk to me like a man or like a woman, respectfully, and about what we're talking about. Don't come telling me nothing that ain't got nothing to do with what I said. If you have a misunderstanding and you think to type something stupid, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. And bottom line, y'all, talk to me about the state of boxing overall. I wish for you guys who don't, you need to watch bare knuckle fighting. Watch One Fighting Championships. Watch all of this shit. Not just UFC. You will see the difference of what I'm saying. And how these sports feel like a sport. And how boxing just don't feel like a sport anymore. You will see the respect. You will understand that this circus shit is only happening in boxing. And any genre of fighting where they have some league with no real structure and this bullshit, that's something different. That's why these sports, those particular leagues and those things are not popular. and especially over here. Okay? Bob Sapp by far in the ring is more known over in the Orient than he is over here. Shit like that. But I'm saying, watch these leagues that's respected. Watch the PFL. Watch these leagues, and you see it just feel like a sport when you watch these. You watch boxing, it's like, damn. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships is full of people, former fighters, former MMA guys, you know, guys who did certain things, and maybe they're no longer good in it or never was good in it or whatever. They get, you know, and hey, man, look, bare knuckle fighting is a different outlet. You know, it's grown. It's got a lot of popularity. It can still get bigger. Imagine one of those motherfuckers jumping in the ring and beating a boxer. Yeah, imagine that, right? You'd be like, what the fuck did I just watch? Well, that's what we just witnessed Saturday. Simple. So, but you see the difference. Boxing just, it's like, I find myself watching boxing a lot of times thinking, what the fuck did I just watch? That's bad, man. I used to enjoy that shit. I still do it myself. I still train my ass off. I'm still putting people on their asses. So, when I watch it, I just feel like, wow. And I'm watching these half-ass boxers that y'all think are so great, and they're not. They're not. You're calling B, C-level fighters. You're calling B minus to C plus fighters A-level fighters, and they're not. You're giving people more credit than what they deserve. Nobody's hating on these people. You just got to be real about what you see. I don't say I like something if I don't, and I'm not going to say I don't like something if I do. So, to each his own, but boxing can do better, and it needs to do better. Otherwise, we can't say nothing about what the Misfits are doing, because this is the same exact shit. Your WBC champion just did the same thing his brother Tommy Fury did. The only difference with KSI is he's doing this boxing shit, this Misfits boxing shit. So it was actually worse on Fury's behalf, on Tyson's behalf, than Tommy. Why? Because even though he's supposed to be a real fighter, he got a gifted win against a Misfits boxer. But at least KSI's, at least boxing. Damn. Fury was gifted a split decision win over a novice. First fight of his life in a boxing ring and a boxing match. Francis Ngannou. Hey, salute to you, Francis. Do your thing. But you're going to get stretched. And then you're just going to go to the back of the line like you're supposed to. That's all. There's no hate. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.